Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back with another video for you guys. Of course, we've got daily content here on AdamMcKola TV, so make sure you are hitting that subscribe button right about now. And today's is a rumour rater, like I just said, and we are making it a striker special. Yes, in the last week or so, we have heard Odion Ighalo hasn't been asked whether he wants to stay at Manchester United or not. There hasn't been an offer from the club. There hasn't been much in terms of discussion over Odion Ighalo's long-term future at Manchester United and whether in fact he has one at all. So we're going to be going through Odion Ighalo, the rumours, and rating those rumours around him, and of course the potential alternatives to Manchester United if we do not keep Odion Ighalo at the club, because it's clear we need to make a signing in that striker position. Yes, Martial, Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, fantastic players that we want to see develop and fulfil their potential at Manchester United and be given the opportunity to do that. But bringing in Ighalo has changed the game for us. It's given us an alternative. It's given us a plan B. It's given us a different option. It's given competition to those players, and it's helped bring a little bit more out of the likes of Anthony Martial as well. So it's clear that we do need a striker at Manchester United. Will we get one in the summer? Who knows, but we're going to look at those rumours right now here on AdamMcKola TV. So let's talk about Odion Ighalo first. Now, he's 30 years old, come from Shanghai Shenhua, and he's currently on loan at Manchester United, and he's done pretty well for Manchester United on loan, scoring a number of goals. We remember that goal against LASK Links, juggling it around and scoring. And his story coming to Manchester United has been a dream move for him. He's living our dream, a boyhood club fan there at Manchester United, living the dream that his sister wanted to see happening as well, and unfortunately she passed away last year. She passes away. Obviously he has to overcome that sorrow in his life and those hard times in his life, in his personal life. But then Manchester United sign him about a month or so later, and a dream is fulfilled for him, a dream of his and his sisters, and it's a dream move that is going swimmingly well. At least it was going well up until obviously football was halted and suspended and the pandemic hit the world. But we got him because of that pandemic. It started in China, Chinese league was halted, and he had to find football elsewhere. United were interested and we brought him in. Now at the time I was saying I don't know whether we should sign him permanently, and at the moment United haven't made any inquiries or open discussions with him about staying. But you kind of wouldn't expect that as well, because we don't know what the current situation is with his loan being extended. FIFA are expected to bring in regulations which will extend loans and deals and things like that due to what's happening at the moment. But that might not get this go ahead from Shanghai Shenhua, and he may have to leave on May the 31st, but we don't know what the situation with that is yet. If, for example, the league gets extended, we know football is going to be played behind closed doors, and we can then tell Shanghai Shenhua, well, we need to extend it until this time. If they say no, then we know we have to act and maybe bring him in. But it might be a case that we can extend that loan. So until the season, and we know what happens with the season is done and when the transfer window is going to be, I wouldn't expect United to be making an offer unless Shanghai Shenhua forced our hands. But we also know they are being linked with a few other players as well. Nevertheless, I would give this an 8 out of 10 for it to happen. I would give this an 8 out of 10 for it to happen. I'm still quietly sure United will get it happening, and we'll probably spend around 15 to 20 million pounds in making that happen. But let's look at some of those alternatives and the players that could possibly come in if we didn't sign Odion Ighalo. One of the names that has been on the list ever since, I think, last season, maybe the season before, is spent time in England and Scotland playing for Fulham and Celtic. Moussa Dembele, 23 years old, currently at Lyon. You could probably get him for around £40 million. 42 goals in 88 games for Lyon. And like I said, he's experienced in England and in Scotland as well. At 23 years old, he's still at that age where he's going to improve. He's going to, he's going to keep growing and fulfilling that potential you'd like to think, and growing as a player. But that is for me a sticking point here. I don't have no doubts that we're interested. We might have scouted him. We might have sent scouts over to Lyon to watch him playing in Liga. I have no doubts about that, and his goal scoring record is an impressive one at 42 goals in 88 games. But do I think we're going to get him in at Manchester United? When you look at Rashford, you look at Martial, you look at their ceiling and their current age, are we going to bring someone else in that's in and around that age, in and around that kind of thing, and he's going to be wanting to play every single week? Dembele is going to want to play every single week, and he will have clubs that are interested in him. You know, we don't know how this pandemic's going to affect Lyon and affect the French clubs. They might need to sell him, and they might have to sell him on the cheap. So I expect there'll be plenty of clubs interested in him. It'll come down to first team football, and for that, it makes it a little bit, But this is probably one of the most likely in terms of alternative strikers on a relatively average transfer fee in comparison to what's going to happen, you know, what we've seen over the years. And I'd rate this one a 5 out of 10. Now, every single day when we do United Daily, I see a few comments about this fella. Timo Werner continues to be linked with Manchester United. He's one of the names that have been reported to be on the list of alternatives if Manchester United do not sign Odion Ighalo. 24 years old, currently at RB Leipzig. This season he has 27 goals in 36 games. He's in great form for RB Leipzig. We've seen him doing well against Spurs as well. He does miss a few opportunities, but at 24 years old, he's still going to continue improving, and his goal record's still very good, despite, you know, missing the odd chances. If you would have seen him against Bayern Munich in a game that was pretty crucial for, you know, league spots in Germany, I felt he missed a few opportunities too many. But he is a fantastic striker, a very natural finisher, £50 million release clause. With that being said, it makes it more possible for teams to sign him. It makes it more possible for teams to sign him. But I've heard this fella being linked with other clubs, and I kind of feel maybe he is in the list, is on a short list, but not near the top of Manchester United's shortlist. I kind of feel he'll probably end up going to Liverpool or Bayern Munich or going to one of those other clubs and not United. I'd still say maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10, but I wouldn't be so certain United are going to sign this fella or even start bidding for him. Next up is a man that's been grabbing loads of headlines around the world and of course in England. Harry Kane, England captain, 26-year-old, currently at Spurs. And he had made a comment on Instagram recently which made everyone sit up and start to think, yo, is Harry Kane on the move? Is he actually going to leave Spurs? Because we'd never really expected him to come out and say the kind of thing that he wasn't definitely going to stay at Spurs. He had to look at his options, and he had to look at the options that were best for him. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to leave in the next transfer window. But nevertheless, as soon as his name is linked with a move from Spurs, United are going to be linked with him. He seems like the kind of profile of signing United would have made under Sir Alex Ferguson, taking one of the best players from Spurs and those kind of clubs, just handpicking them. You know, when you think of us signing Carrick, Berbatov, etc., Harry Kane's kind of in that mould, and he's a fantastic striker in my opinion, only second to Sergio Aguero in the Premier League, 181 goals in 278 games, but he has had a lot of injuries, and he's been rushed back from a lot of injuries as well. And when you hear about it could possibly take a world record fee of £200 million to prize him away from Spurs, I'd say let's be realistic in this kind of market, the post-coronavirus pandemic market. We don't know what kind of, you know, fees people are going to be demanding, but you'd still expect it to be £150 million plus, especially when you consider the fees for Dembele and Coutinho and things like that. I don't think United are going to start negotiating with Spurs, negotiating with Daniel Levy, especially if we're going to be signing someone like Jadon Sancho. So for that reason, I'd give this one a 2 out of 10, but I would keep an eye on it. It seems like something Ed Woodward would be keeping an eye on. And you know, if you can get a player like Harry Kane and he becomes available and he wants to move to your club, maybe you sign him, but I don't know, 2 out of 10. Another man constantly linked with Manchester United is Erling Haaland. His agent's Mino Raiola. So given the fact that he has just moved to Dortmund, you'd think he's probably not going to be on the move again anytime soon. But his agent's Mino Raiola, 19 years old, currently at Dortmund, has a £63 million release clause in his contract, 61 goals in 104 career appearances, 12 goals in 11 games for Dortmund. He's on absolute fire in this current campaign, if you can still call it that. And he's been linked with United when he left RB to go to Dortmund. He was linked with us then. United didn't go ahead, or didn't get the go ahead to make that signing happen, and therefore he joined Dortmund. Now he's at Dortmund tearing it up, and he's being linked with the move again. Now the story that came out was one that said when he is again available on the market, United and Real Madrid would be interested, and I have no doubt Solskjaer's passed with him. We will be keeping tabs on him. But is this one going to happen in the next window? I don't think so. I'm sure there's interest. I'm sure he's on our list, but I'm not sure we're going to be signing him in the next window. 2 out of 10 for this one as well. So there you have it, guys. Look, I have no doubt we've got interest in Erling Haaland, Harry Kane. No doubt that we'll be keeping tabs on him, but we're probably not going to sign him. And those are the facts in life. We will keep tabs and scout so many players. much like Moussa, Dembele, Timo Werner, but we might not ever sign in any of them. And I actually wouldn't be against us signing Odion Ighalo on a permanent basis. It could be a short-term option as a plan B. He wants to play for United. He's already shown what he can do for us on a short-term basis. And then we can look at maybe getting a striker to accommodate and accompany what we already have on a more long-term basis in the near future, and we don't have to rush that decision. Spending £200 million on Harry Kane, for me, doesn't make sense. And I don't think it's going to happen anyway. But let us know how you rate these rumours on the strikers linked with Manchester United. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to AdamMcKola TV, liking, commenting, sharing. And you can now join as well. Click join to check that out. But for now, I've been AdamMcKola. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out of here.